Good morning and welcome to another weekly update. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you've had a good weekend. I've had a great weekend. I've been at South Coast Summit on Friday and Saturday down in Southampton. 2-day event. The first day was all workshops and a hackathon, and then the second day was all sessions. Fantastic conference. Congrats to the organisers, to Nathan and Aaron. Thanks so much to everybody who got involved in speaking, in organising and running the hackathons, in all of the things that need to happen to make a conference go off successfully. It was a fantastic event. The organisers should be super proud of what they've done. It was great fun to catch up with everyone again. And it was really good. Really got a real buzz out of it. So that was really nice. And so going into this week, a little bit tired, but with so many ideas. Like lots of these conferences, actually, I only went to a tiny amount of session. I went to one session and I delivered one session. And the rest of it was in just talking to people, in networking, in kind of visiting and talking to sponsors and partners and finding out what's moved on in the last 18 months. And the thing is, all of these companies, we've been locked down and locked away and not able to talk to people and move around. But actually, all of these companies have been innovating in this space and adding more capability and capacity to things, coming out with new products and solutions. And it's great to be able to go and talk to them about it and find out the reasons why and understand where they're at and what they're thinking. So, that's what I spent a lot of time doing. All right, a couple of things to talk through this week. So the first one is I want to draw attention to the Microsoft MVP Award Program blog, and they have a Friday 5 series where they kind of pull out some blog posts of interest from the past week. And this week, I'm in there because my MJF chat talking to Mary Jo Foley about building Teams apps was featured. There's also some other really good sort of blog posts that I wasn't aware of. So Vesku Noverman is talking about Teams on iPad, which is interesting. There's some other things as well around continuous deployment, using ML pipelines, some Power BI insights, Windows Update for Business. Lots of good blog posts. This gets released every Friday. It's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth reading on a Friday, or doing something to read over the weekend, because it's a nice curated collection of blog posts from across the MVP ecosystem. So that is worth checking out. Next up, this is a good one. Tech Peanuts. I've shared their blog posts before previously. And this really all about Company Communicator. So this person who they don't sort of they're kind of quite quiet, I suppose, in talking about who they are on their blog post, which is kind of fine. Like, you don't have to. But they are responsible for adding a bunch of interesting features to Company Communicator. And the latest one of these, which is now in Company Communicator, is improved reporting and Company Communicator Insights, which looks to be its own kind of application, its own thing. This Analytics Insights dashboard gives you some real detail into understanding more information about the messages that you're sending, in terms of not only how many were sent, but how many reviewed and how many failed as well. So you can see this kind of trending over time. You can see how long it takes for like a message to get delivered and read in terms of days since sending it. So lots of detail here. You can dig into individual messages as well. So plenty going on. So this is all just sort of coming to Company Communicator. You can, with the latest update. So you need to have version 4.1 and installed a Company Communicator. Then you can go through this process here to go and get it from Git or from GitHub, I guess, and that brings it into Power BI Desktop, and off you go. All good fun, all good stuff. So if you're already using Company Communicator, then you should definitely go and check this out, because it will give you some improved reporting. If you're not already using Company Communicator, you should go and check that out too, because it might be a thing that your organization can really benefit from as a way of sending out messages to the whole organization. All right, next up. So the Microsoft Teams Developer blog and the Microsoft Graph Developer blog have both had a visual, a UI refresh. They look really nice, look really clean, look very smart. And there's also a couple of new blog posts to call out. The first one of these is by Bob German, and it's all about building bots for teams using the Bot Framework Composer, which I know I've talked about before, but it's always good to get obviously another perspective as well. And Bob's written this great blog post actually, going through things that you didn't necessarily know that you could do with Bot Composer. So build low-code Microsoft Teams bots. So here's a video on doing that. Making it really easy to get user profile information. Great, there's a video for doing that. Figuring out who's online. Great, there's a video for that. This is really nice. I love these kind of little examples of things that you didn't know you could do that were really easy. Text messages or adaptive cards. Yep, you can definitely do that. Answering questions with Q&A Maker. Yep. So these are all things I kind of I know I've touched on, I've talked through as well. It's great to have them all in one place in this blog post, so that you can quickly just kind of scan this and be like, okay, now I understand the power, if you like, of the things that I can do with Bot Framework Composer, and what I can do. And also the other thing in this mix is Power Virtual Agents as well. Which reminds me, actually, I should draw your attention to. I'm doing a talk actually in end of November at the European Collaboration Summit, all about Bot Framework Composer and Power Virtual Agents, and which is which, and which one should you use when, and which is better than the other. And I've called it Bot Wars because why not? So you could check that out if you're interested. But anyway, back to this article. This is all about Bot Framework Composer, but it's really good to see all of these kind of videos. And I like these kind of did you know that you can do this kind of approach in a blog post? So I think that works really well. So go check that blog post out, because especially if you do anything with Bot Framework Composer and you want to do more with Microsoft Teams, then this is a good place to go. And finally, calling out the exam. There's a Microsoft exam, Microsoft 365 Developer Associate exam, and this is MS 600, which is building applications and solutions with Microsoft 365 core services. So there's a good write-up here by Sasha, and yeah, it's kind of good. I've done this exam, this MS 600. It was good. It's interesting to go through. I recommend it to everyone. It's good credentials to have. It's good credibility to have. This blog post is interesting actually, because it kind of calls out the exam, but then goes into a whole bunch of detail about the things that you could do. If you knew enough to pass this exam, think of all the other things you could do. So these are all scenarios, if you like, that are enabled by some of the things that you get tested on in the exam. So I know I've definitely kind of talked to these before, these kind of virtual patient solutions, incident management, building apps like this, as well as lots of other things as well that get covered in that exam. So also other exams you can take. I'm just calling your attention to this MS 600. It's a good exam to have. It's a good exam to take. Like I say, I took it probably last year. I took it just before it came out. I was lucky enough to take it in beta. Yeah, it's a good one to have, and I would recommend it to you. And this is a good blog post for understanding why you would take it as much as what it is. So what does this week look like? Busy. I've got lots of footage from South Coast Summit that I want to go through and share with you. I've got some fantastic interviews. I'm very excited. Coming this week, I'm going to be dropping a couple of interviews that will be of particular interest to some of you, I know. And I'm also going to try and put together a whole day for the Friday and a whole day video for the Saturday of all the stuff that I experienced at South Coast Summit, so that if you weren't able to be there, you can kind of experience it virtually. And I've got lots of ideas as well from session content to go through, and it's also time to start thinking about the next conference, which will be the European Collaboration Summit at the end of November. So starting to think about that as well. So plenty going on. And also we've got Ignite coming up in just a few weeks' time. So 3 weeks' time, maybe, beginning of November. So there's going to be lots of things that come out of that as well. So plenty going on. And whatever it is you're doing this week, I hope you have a good one. And If you were at South Coast Summit, it was great to see you. I saw lots of you at South Coast Summit. That was fantastic. It was great to catch up. Yeah. So whatever it is you're doing this week, have a great one. And I will talk to you again next time.